Let's see. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Monika Patel, a physical therapist and personal trainer. I have a specialty in strength and conditioning, and also pelvic health. But I'm really, really passionate about posture because I think that is a foundational thing for how we move. I wanted to say that at any point, if you have any questions, feel free to just raise your hand or ask me to elaborate, or if I don't explain something well, say, hey, try that again. I'm totally open to your feedback. I don't want to cover up my PowerPoint here. So, and just to rest assured, I don't think that there's anything as perfect posture. I'm not going to be your mom saying, button up here, tighten up here, straighten up here. But there are certain muscles we can activate to help support our joints. Is this, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's no such thing as perfect posture. Everybody's body is unique and different. But there are, like I said, certain muscles that do help support our joints, our nerves, and allow our body to work at its best. So that's what I'm going to go through today, is starting from the head, working all the way down to the toes, and teaching you how to activate certain muscles that'll help with posture, okay? How many of you have heard this phrase, sitting is the new smoking? Do you know where it comes from? No, it actually, yep, that's part of it. So this phrase was actually taken from an article that came out about 5 years ago, and that outlined all the effects that sitting has on our body. One, it turns off of our glute muscles, which then puts a lot of stress on our low back. It affects the cardiopulmonary system, the adrenal glands, the lymphatic system even, and the endocrine system. So, this is a comical image of evolution here, but sitting does have an effect on our overall health. And so I do like to warn people, standing desks are becoming more and more popular, which is great. However, just like you can sit incorrectly, you can also stand incorrectly. People can, thrust their hips out. They can lean on one side too much. So I always advise to be very mindful of both sitting and standing postures. And if you want me to look over anything in particular or individually, or talk through your workstation setup, I'm happy to do that toward the end. Okay? Okay, so posture actually starts from when we are tiny. This is my son when he was 8 weeks old. He's now 11 weeks old. But the tummy time, that's a big thing when kids are little, right? And we know that's for good head control, right? So working on the neck, but also it strengthens the entire back of the body. So it helps with shoulder stability, strengthening the posterior neck, the paraspinal muscles, as well as the glutes. So tummy time for adults is actually really important as well. And we'll get to that here in the seminar. Okay, so starting with the head, the forward head that we're all kind of guilty of. Cyclists are also very guilty of that because they lean forward. Yep. And so this is a nice diagram because it shows exactly how much pressure we're putting on our necks. Our heads weigh anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds, just stacked up here. Okay, so that's the amount of weight that our joints are designed to take. If you go forward just 15 degrees, that puts in another about 30 pounds of pressure on the joints. Then if you move your neck 30 degrees forward, it's 40 pounds of pressure. 45 degrees, almost 50 pounds of pressure. And then 60 degrees, that's 60 pounds of pressure. And if you're sustaining 60 pounds of pressure on your neck for hours at a time, no wonder people have disc issues in their neck, right? Because we think about discs as a bar of soap. If you squeeze one end, which is happening here, it's going to shoot the disc posteriorly and then cause all kinds of ridiculous symptoms down the arm. But a simple fix of stacking everything up reduces the amount of pressure on your neck and can decrease disc herniations. Yeah. Yep. Sure. Okay, so the muscles that we're going to target here at first are the longest capitis and the longest colli, or they're referred to as deep neck flexors, because they're the ones that are in charge of kind of bringing our chin down and in, so that our chin isn't poking out and leading us forward, right? So I'd like everyone to do a chin tuck for me. So don't look down, okay? So I'll go to the side here. So straight back. Here, almost like you're trying to give yourself a double chin. Okay? Yes, very nice. There, okay? And now go back out and do the kind of the text neck type position, and then really slowly come back here. Hold, don't let your shoulders rise, okay? Chin should be down. Good. And then sustain that, and I want you just to move your arms. Good. Yeah. Okay, so you've lost it a little bit there. Yep. Bring it back. There you go. There you go. Good. Okay, and then just kind of reach independently for things, keeping that chin tucked. Very nice. Yep. Good. Okay, so now what I want you to do you mind if I borrow your band? Okay, is you're going to take the band, put it just down at the base of your neck here, okay, and then chin tuck into the band. So keep the band about level with your ears, and then tuck as far as you can back into it. I should see some nice double chins. Very good, very good. Do you feel your neck working when you do that? Yep. Okay, good. And then gently come back out of it to about neutral, okay? Yep, and then tuck again. Good, and hold. I like to hold about 10 seconds on these. Really nice, gentle strengthening. Okay, now if everyone could lie on your backs and have the band kind of close at hand as well. So I had a student recently who is in a PT school. She's very knowledgeable about her body, and she's actually was an Olympic weightlifter. She could power lift 300 pounds, but I asked her to do this exercise we're about to do, and she could not lift her head off of the mat. So, and she had extreme neck pain as well. So her neck muscles are very, very weak. It's a very under-strengthened part of our bodies. So what I'd like you to do is find your chin tuck in this position. Yes, very nice, very nice. Good, and then lift your head up slowly and gently, just about 2 inches. Yep, Good, 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 and put it back down. Yep, be sure you're breathing still. How long do y'all think is the average amount of time one should be able to hold this? Yep. About 1.5 minutes, and the average person can only hold it for 10 seconds. So, yep, let's lift up again. Nice chin tuck. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Good. So, Jennifer, that's a little bit too much. Yep, it's just about 2-inch lift. Very nice. Make sure you're breathing and back down. Good. Let's try that one more time. Y'all are doing a good job of keeping your chin tucked. Yeah, yeah. Very nice. Good, and back down. Okay, now what I want you to do is, I'm gonna borrow your band again, put the band at your forehead here, okay? And then gently lift up only about 1 inch this time, keeping just slight resistance of the band on your neck, okay? Or on your head. There you go, and that's how to make that even just a little bit harder. Toward front and the back, yep. You don't want it necessarily radiating down to your shoulders, though. Yep. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Try depressing your shoulders a little bit. And don't raise your neck up quite as high. A bit more chin tuck. Yeah, so for you, I wouldn't use the band. But okay, let's try it with the band one more time. Little chin tuck, lift up. Good, and come back down. Very nice. Okay, any questions about that? No? Okay, good, good. Go ahead and sit back up. And, okay, so the next thing that affects our neck posture, and we're all women in here, so we all are conditioned to wear bras, right? So you'll see women a lot of the times with a big pocket of fluid back here. That's called the dowager hump, and it's caused by compression from the bras at the lymphatic system, okay? And that increased fluid will actually push the neck forward as well. So if in your yoga classes you see someone with a pocket of fluid, you might suggest that they get treated for lymphedema, or have a cupping session or a massage session to help decrease that fluid and therefore decrease the pressure in their neck. Or suggest we go braless. But I bring that up just to remind you all not to actually sleep in bras. I used to be guilty of that because it was so much easier just to wake up in the morning and go for a run if you already have your sports bra on. But it's actually really, really not good for the lymphatic system at all. And I'll show you a picture here if you don't mind flipping the next page. So this is where a huge bundle of our lymph nodes are, here and here. And with the bra just falling shy of that, it decreases blood flow to the lymphatic system, and therefore we're not draining as well. So yes, you want things nice and secure here and tight, but be sure not to have too much tightness here, okay? And I put the drain there because that's what the lymphatic system does. It's a draining part of our anatomy. Questions about that? Affects it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And from a men's perspective, where do men have the most compressive clothing? Right at their belt line, right? There's also a huge bundle of nodes right there. So I always advise men not to wear belts, actually, because that can increase the amount of fluid, and it's not necessarily just like adipose tissue or fat tissue that's here. A lot of times it can be just fluid from all that compression constantly, which is interesting. Okay, if you don't mind, Tim. All right, so from the neck, we move to the shoulders. We're all guilty of having a little bit of rounded shoulders, right? Begs the question, where should the shoulders be? Where should they live? You want them pretty much in line with this, it's called your external auditory meatus, or your earlobe, here, okay? So part of that comes from the chin tuck, so go ahead and get the chin tuck, yep. And then I want you to just slightly bring your shoulders back. A lot of people want to squeeze their shoulders back and pop their chest forward, and that's a bit too much. So it's just here. Think about bringing your shoulders down and back and avoiding internal rotation, okay? So externally rotate your shoulders. Good, and that already opens them up quite a bit. You see we live here. Turning them out will bring them back and down just naturally. Okay, good. So now what I'd like you to do is just a little tiny shoulder blade squeeze here. You should feel muscle activation down at the bottom of your shoulder blade. Okay, that looks good. Good. Very nice. Okay, so now maintaining that tiny shoulder blade squeeze, let's go ahead and do about 5 chin tucks. Okay, nice and controlled. Good job with the external rotation of your arms. So for you, don't make sure that chin tuck isn't too far down. Keep it nice and floated, lifted up. Good, and go ahead and just like relax your arms. It's hard not to want to do this, right?
I go back into the saddle afterwards.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah. Good. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this is a nice kind of map of oftentimes what muscles are tight and weak. When you're thinking about designing yoga classes, or if you're in a yoga class, you can kind of have this image in your mind. So it's a lot of times a tight upper trap muscle. The trap is 3 parts: upper, middle, and lower. The more we can get the lower trap muscle to activate, which we'll go through an exercise today, the more it turns off the upper trap. Okay, so you could do all the massage work in the world of this upper trap, but if this lower trap is not firing, then this is still going to be angry. Okay, and then the levator scapula. Have y'all ever heard of that muscle before? It attaches from your top of your shoulder blade to your neck. So if that muscle is tight, it's going to pull you. So that's what's tight in the back. And then if you follow the line, tight pecs. My goodness, how good do pec openers feel in a yoga class? They feel great, right? And that, because the pec attaches here and at the sternum, if it's tight, it's going to shorten us and pull us forward. So the more lengthening you can do of the pecs, the better. Then what we just strengthened, the deep neck flexors are oftentimes weak, and then weak lower trap and serratus anterior. So we'll, next slide, go through how to strengthen those 2 muscles there. Yeah, okay. So that tiny bit of pulling back there, we're strengthening the rhomboid muscles. They go between the shoulder blades. Now what I want to get is the middle and the lower traps. So if everyone could lie like so on their mats here. And bring your band with you in arm's reach. Yeah, good. Okay, so what I want you to do is make a triangle with your arms. Okay, elbows are going to flare out just a little bit. Okay, and then find your chin tuck in this position. Yep, so you're working against gravity a little bit. And then I want you to push down on the ground with your forearms. Sink your shoulder blades down and back. That's activating your lower trap. Is this bothering anyone's low back? Okay, if so, be sure you could pull your belly button in toward your spine and support. Good, okay? So now just do a tiny sink and lift. Think about the base of your scapula, that middle back doing the work. Really push down on the ground here. Good, are y'all feeling that? Yeah, from the chest. Yeah, so you'll be firing here. Shoulder blades down and back. Try to pinch my finger there. Good. Keep your chin tuck a little bit. So your gaze will be right at your thumbs. Good. So this is really nice way to enhance some yoga poses as well. Good. Yep, think about your shoulder blades kind of melting down your back as you push up, just really gently here. Very nice. Good. Let's do a couple more rounds. Really pushing through your forearms, sinking your elbows down into the mat, maintaining your chin tuck. Good. And then another way you can work your neck muscles and your traps are to hold the band here, put it at the base of your spine, and then chin tuck and lift up here, okay? So you want the band just at the base of your skull, not too much pressure on your neck. So right there. Yeah, so Donna, let's put the band a little bit higher, right there. There you go. Good, keep your elbows on the ground. Yep, push that same pushing down with your elbows, lifting up from your chin and your head. Good, go ahead and do a couple rounds of those. Y'all feeling okay? Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Good. So less is more in this situation. Just tiny, tiny movement. Okay, you don't have to power through it because that turns on these like chewing jaw muscles. We don't want those on. Just really gentle kind of flow through it. Good. Okay, so now if you could go onto all fours. I want us to activate the serratus anterior. So this is a muscle that helps support our shoulder blade. There are 17 muscles that attach from our shoulder blade to our neck. So that's why strengthening our shoulder blade actually has a huge effect on neck pain and our posture. Okay, so yep, go in the quadruped, stack your knees onto your, just below your hips and wrists just below your shoulders. Okay, and then to activate this serratus anterior, it's in the inside of your shoulder blade and attaches to your ribs, you're going to push the ground away. Okay, so your upper body is going to lift. So allow me to show you here. Okay, so I'm sinking down, pushing up, sinking down, pushing up. Okay, so in this way, we're doing a push-up, but we're not using our pecs. Honestly, push-ups are probably my least favorite exercise because what are they strengthening? Your pec muscle. The stronger those are, the more it's going to be pulling you in. So this is a nice way to kind of push the ground away, but actually activating a scapular stabilizer rather than your pec muscle. Very nice. Good. Okay, so now let's make that a little bit more challenging, and I want you to walk your knees back a little bit further past your hips. Good. Slight bend in your elbows, and then push the ground away here. Don't bend your elbows during the process. Good. That's activating your serratus anterior. Very nice, y'all. Good. So, good, okay? So now push away and hold, and then really slowly lower. One thing I failed to mention was a lot of these exercises with the bands that we're doing today were invented for the European Space Agency astronauts. Because this extensive research was done on how astronauts could keep their posture while in space. And they found that activating these little tiny muscles was the key. And these are some of the exercises that came from that research. It's pretty cool. Good, okay. So now what I want you to do is put the band across. It might be a little bit short, but if you can, across your shoulders and hold. This one's too short for you. And then use that resistance here for serratus. Okay? Let's see if, okay, yeah, it's too short, never mind. But that's an idea. That's an idea of what you can do. You can take any kind of resistance band and push away, okay? You can also do the serratus strengthening in space. So here, okay? Try out your chin tuck. Yep. And then, good. So make sure shoulders aren't floating up. You want them down and back. Good. Yeah, and the emphasis is on the backward motion, okay? You're floating forward and then gently drawing back. You don't want your arms to barrel out. They stay in a pretty nice straight plane. Good, so don't let them come up. There you go, activate here. Very nice, yep. Good, okay. So stretching the pecs, do y'all have a favorite pec stretch? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go ahead and lie on your backs. Okay. Okay. Turn your palms up. Good. And then think about pressing your shoulder blades down and back into the mat. Even just that in and of itself is a pec stretch. You can enhance this by putting a bolster along your spine and letting gravity open you even more. Yep. Okay. And now turn your head to the right. Good. And then put your right hand underneath your tush. Yeah, there you go. And look down toward your right shoulder. There you go. You'll feel a little different stretch. Good. Okay. And then other side. So look to the left hand under the tush. Yep. Good. Another thing, if you don't have a bolster at home, just a pool noodle for like swimming in the pool. It's really great to put on your spine this way, and then just lie on it, and it's open your pecs up quite a bit. Yeah, so be sure your palms are up. Yeah, we need that external rotation. Good. Okay. Chin towards your left shoulder. You'll get a slightly different stretch there. Again, think about lowering your shoulder blades down and back, kind of sliding your scapulas down your back. Good. Make sure even that hand palms are open. Yeah. Yep. Good. Good. Okay. Now, if you can sit back up, Indian style, I'm going to show you how to stretch your levator. So place your right hand underneath your right buttock, and then you're going to look down toward your left knee. And it's a slight head tilt. You should feel a stretch through here. Yeah. And you can lean your body away from the hand that you're sitting on. Okay. Yep, so right hand under right tuchus, lean to the left and look down to the left. Good. All right. Left hand up under your left buttock, tilt and look down towards your right knee and hold. For a muscle to truly relax and let go, a stretch needs to be held for 30 seconds. Okay. Good. Are y'all feeling that in through here? Good. Very nice. Okay. Next slide, please. All right, so we're going to move on down to the pelvis. So the pelvis is really a keystone for a posture, because if you have too much of an anterior tilt, then you're going to try to overwork your paraspinal muscles back through here to try to correct yourself. Or if it's too far tucked under, it just sets you up for slouchy. So even if you did all the shoulder strengthening stuff in the world, you'd still have bad posture. Okay, so you've really got to work from the pelvis as well. So go ahead and go back into quadruped position, hands and knees. Yep, stack your knees underneath your hips and do a rounded cat position. Good, and think about less about your back moving than your pelvis, okay? So you really want to tuck under. Think about going back to that serratus where you're pushing the ground away, right? Activating your scapula. Nice, okay? And keeping your chin tucked in this position as well. That'll add a different element to it. Good. And then slowly come to neutral, so flat back. Yes, nice. Keep your chin tuck here. So it's a little bit of a lift away from gravity. You're pushing the mat away with your hands. Very nice. Donna, a little bit higher with your head there. Yes, very nice. Good. Okay, make sure you're breathing. And now melt from your sacrum. So from your low back, bring it toward the mat. So other way. There you go, there you go, there you go. Yep. You're all very nice. Good. So y'all have good pelvic mobility. I would say you're moving quite a bit from the back. See if you can do more from here. Yep. Good. Okay. So round again. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then melt again. Good. Okay, now you've moved through the extremes, right? So you've reached that top of that cat pose. The bottom of that camel, find the middle, okay? Find the middle between the two, right there. Good. Remember how that feels, okay? Now go ahead and go back into sitting, Indian style, or with your feet straight, and find that neutral pelvis. Yeah, that looks good. You're a little bit arched. There you go. There you go. Great. And you're a little bit rounded. Yep. So lift, lift, lift. That looks great. Okay. So now with that pelvis, go back and do a chin tuck. See if it feels any different. It should be slightly easier. Yeah. And with the chin tuck, make sure you're not looking down. Your gaze should be straight ahead still. So you're looking down just a bit much. Yep. Good. Okay, now think about squeezing your shoulder blades down and back just a little bit. That same action that the tape is helping you with. Good. Keeping that nice neutral pelvis. Yes. Okay. Good. You're stacking up. Your posture's looking great. You feeling good? Okay. Good. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's a good way to help cue people into finding that neutral pelvis, to go into the extremes, right? Do extreme round, extreme bend, and then find whatever is in the middle for that person, okay? Good. Next slide. So here, there's a pattern, just like there was in the upper body, there's a pattern in the lower body. So typically, poor posture is the product of weak abdominals and weak glutes, those two things. And then a really tight low back and hip flexor, or the psoas, okay? So what we need to do is bring belly button in toward the spine, make sure the shoulders are relaxed. A lot of people will like suck in and bring their shoulders up toward their ears. Stay nice and melted here at the top. Good. Just that little motion takes about 40% of the pressure off of the discs in your back, actually. So I'm all about protecting the discs. Okay, and then go into child's pose. That is a beautiful one for stretching the erector spinae. Good. I'm going to challenge you to do a chin tuck in this position. Good. And really reach your arms out long, but as your arms are extending out long, think about locking your shoulder blades down and in towards your body. So they're going to come in here. Yep, good, good, good. Yep, tiny chin tuck. See if you can lift your forehead off the mat for just a second or two. And then back down. Good. And then if you even want to get the pecs a little bit, you can open your arms out wider and then sink your lower body in toward the mat. Beautiful. Good, good, good. Okay, roll back up, really nice and gentle. And if you can, next slide, please go ahead and go into warrior pose. This is a really, really good one for stretching and strengthening all the right things, and I'm going to cue you through it. Okay? So what I want you to focus on is stretching that front hip flexor, okay? So you're going to lean into that front leg a little bit. Make sure your knee is stacked up to your toes. Good. Hips are pointed toward me. Good. And here, be careful not to overarch your back. So you want a neutral pelvis. Yep. Make sure both hips are pointed toward me. Good. Point hips toward me. That's better. Good. Bring your shoulders down and back. Tiny chin tuck here. Good. Good. We're practicing these same moves in multiple positions. Now, with the chin tucks, float your arms up, but keep your shoulder blades down and back. Too many times I see this in yoga classes, okay? I want shoulders down and back. Good. Okay, go ahead and stand up, and then switch. Good, so really lean into it. Does anyone have trouble finding that stretch in the hip flexor on the back leg? You're all feeling that stretch? Okay, good. So float arms up, tiny chin tuck, okay? Shoulder blades back and down. Very nice. Yep, right there. Good. Okay. Good, good, good. How long should you hold a stretch for it to actually stretch? Yep, good job. Good job. And for a strengthening move, about 10 seconds. Okay? Sure, sure. Okay, good. So now, go ahead and grab your band. I'll show you. I should have cut one for me. Okay. And what I want you to do is, this is another kind of anti-gravity astronaut move. Okay, you're going to put the band at the top of your head here. And then I want you to push the top of your head. You don't have to be in warrior pose anymore. Push the top of your head into the band, maintaining the chin tuck. Don't let your chin come out, okay? So you're floating up, 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 slight pull directly down. You don't want to pull forward or back, okay? Yep. Good. Yep. Really lift up into the top of that band. And see, this is what I'm watching for. Don't let your pelvis arch when you're trying to lift, okay? Nice neutral pelvis. So tuck just a little bit more. There you go. Good. Really lift. Good. So this is like working against gravity, right? We want to grow tall, maintain the chin tuck. Stay very nice. Yep, nice and lifted. Good. Okay. Then take the band, borrowed again, and you're going to put it on the side of your head like this. Okay, really gentle pull. I don't want you to yank it. Just a tiny bit of pressure. Yep, and then press your head into the band that way. Okay, and then you'll switch sides. So hold about 10 seconds. Yeah, good. Makes you all look like pirates. Good. And with the arm that's up, think about opening it so that way you're getting a pec stretch at the same time that you're strengthening. I'm all about getting the most bang for your buck on a certain exercise. Good. Are y'all feeling that work? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, try the other side. You never see people in the gym doing this, do you?
Having had the neck fusion and everything,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm going through a bad smell of health and everything else, you watch TV at night and all of a sudden I find the collapses over. So I know there's muscles that have gotten very weak. So
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Surgery will inhibit muscles for a long time. So, good. Okay. And then you can hold the band backward. So it's like, it's tempting you to go forward, but you've got to pull back. Good. Now we've got the Ninja Turtle look going on. Yeah, really nice. Good. Okay, good. Next slide, if you don't mind. All right. So now that we're in standing, what I'd like us to work on is the hips, okay? A lot of times we'll stand one leg versus another, and that can put a lot of torque on your back, right? When I'm waiting in line, I'm guilty of that. Now with a baby, I'm guilty of that. And so it can give the appearance of having scoliosis, even when you don't actually have scoliosis. And it can actually be a driver for developing some spinal compensations. So what happens is when this side of the hip is weak, the other side drops, okay? And it's really important for anyone who does long walking or running to have strong hip abductors. That's the muscle we're going to work here. So I want your feet to stack up shoulder width apart. Okay. Good. Take a nice deep breath. Make sure you have a nice neutral pelvis that we talked about. Shoulders are in line with the ears. Y'all are doing great with the shoulders and the head. Good. Okay. And then you're going to just float one leg up off the ground. Yep, and it's a straight line, sink it down and up. What we're doing is working the standing legs hip abductor. Yes, so make the motion come from your hip. So let me show you here. There, okay? Good. See if in between reps, you're not even putting your whole foot back down. You're just floating up and down. Keep going, keep going. You'll start to feel it on that standing leg. Yep, this is a great one to do when you're waiting in line somewhere, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're have something going on the stove. Yeah, and try not to let your whole body sway. The rest of your body's nice and stacked up. Coming here. Go ahead and switch legs. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you know how I described there's 3 parts of the trap, upper trap, middle trap, and lower trap? There's actually 3 glute muscles, the max, med, and minimus. This works the middle glute, which is one that's often overlooked as well. It's a little tiny guy, but super important. Good. And what I'm watching for, keep going, is a lot of times when our bodies get tired, we'll start to tense up here, start to strain here, but y'all are doing a good job of staying nice and relaxed. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and switch back to the original side. And having strong hip abductors will also help with that alignment here of your pelvis. Mm-hmm. Yep, good. Good. This is great for your balance. It's great for your strength, great for your posture. Okay, switch sides. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do these a lot when my son's, all his needs are met. He just wants to be held. And I'm like, okay, I'll work my hip abductors. Good. Switch back to the original side. We'll do one more round. Y'all are doing great. Feeling okay? Good. See if you can get that chin tucked a little bit more. Yep, and remember the chin tuck doesn't have to be down. It's just a straight back, like a chicken that's getting ready to peck. Okay? Yep, make sure your upper body doesn't torque over to the side. Looking really good. Yeah, nice. Okay, and then finish off your other side. Get about 10 more in. Mm-hmm. Is it your right or left that you feel it more? Yeah, and so having strong glute muscles, especially glute med, can take the pressure and the work off of your hip flexors, right? So again, if you did all the stretching in the world, but these aren't strong, these are going to keep overworking and get tight, okay? Good. All right. Oh, thanks. All right, so that was this exercise. Now we're going to do this one. This is what research shows is the best way to activate your glute med muscle. But we're going to start off, so lie on your side, okay? Knees bent here. Okay? Then, with knees bent, we're going to activate our serratus, that pushing away from the mat. Good. So push down with your forearm. Yep. So you're not dumping into your shoulder. Stay nice and lifted here. Good. Lift your torso away from the mat as much as possible. You should be feeling some pretty good work already here. And then gently, even if it's just an inch, I want you to float your hip off the ground by pushing your knee down into the ground. Yes, very nice. Yeah, just hold about 10 seconds and then float it down. Good. You'll feel this in many places. So the key is really don't dump into your shoulder. That's why I wanted to do the shoulder work first. Stay nice and lifted here, start here, and then just really push that bottom leg into the mat. Very nice, very nice. the angle of your knees can change, but looks pretty good. Okay, try the other side. Yep, so remember, push down with your forearm. That'll create a lift in your shoulder, working your serratus anterior muscle, which is, again, good for your posture. And then, yep, we're working our obliques in our torso, which connect to our pelvis and help with that pelvic alignment. And then by pushing your knee into the ground, you're working that glute med on that side. Very, very nice. Good, good. Be sure your elbow is in line with your shoulder. Good. Okay, and then gradually, as you get stronger, you can bring your legs farther and farther out into a side plank, right? But the key is not just to be in a side plank. You're pushing your foot into the ground, and that'll be what activates that glute, okay? Any questions about that one? No?
For this one, is it just as effective if you have your arms straight, or do you need to lean on the elbow?
You can work into the arm straight. I kind of like the elbow bent because then it really works the scapula a bit more. Yeah, good question. Okay, so now our roots are our feet. You'll hear the term pronated or supinated a lot. Do y'all know the difference between the two? Yes, yes. So supinated is when your feet are like this and there's quite a bit of an arch, and pronated is where the arch kind of collapses down. You can see if our feet are not neutral, this is going to cause this posture, and then this oftentimes causes the overarching posture if there's too much supination. Okay, so go ahead and stand back up if y'all don't mind. Good. Does anyone know if they have kind of a collapsing arch or a very high arch? Yeah. Okay. So what I want us to do is some toe yoga. All right. So by strengthening the way our toes work, because all the tendons for our toes run above and below the arch, working your toes can really, really help with that arch support. Okay, so what I want you to do is think about pushing your big toe down and lifting your other toes up without collapsing your foot inward. Yep, so nice neutral foot. There you go. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then switch toes down, big toe up. Like you're giving a thumbs up with your toe. I can't do that one. So anyone in here, I can't do it, yeah. Yeah, wow, y'all are actually really, really good at this. Okay? And then switch. It is. Yeah, yeah. So as you're concentrating, think about where's your head in space. Is it coming forward as you're concentrating? Yep. Yep. And then switch. Really try to make sure your ankle stays neutral. It's not doing any weeble wobbles as you do this. Good. Okay, so sustain one position. Let's do big toes up. Think about relaxing shoulder blades, scooping them down and back, chin tuck. Nice neutral pelvis, relaxed shoulders. Good, nice deep breath, and then switch your toes. Everything up top staying nice and open. Yep, make sure chin is tucking. Good. Be sure your knees are not knocking. That's the tricky part. Good. Okay, so now go into warrior. And again, So starting from head to toe rather than toe to head, I want you to chin tuck, sink your shoulder blades down and back. Okay? Keep your hips pointed toward me. Very nice. And then play with your toga on the front foot, on the front foot. Very nice. Yeah. Good. Okay, make sure you're breathing. Really lock your shoulder blades in. So there's a difference between here and here, right? Very active middle and low back. In fact, I want that to be your focal point. Good. Okay, and then arms down, relax, do a few shoulder rolls front to back, and then switch sides. Okay. Good, alternate. Uh-huh, it is, it is. Good. Go ahead and put feet together, do a forward fold, and just let everything just kind of hang nice and loose. We've done lots of muscle activation here. Let your head hang heavy. Good, just kind of sway back and forth, side to side. Nice deep breath. Now, as you come up, I want you to roll up one vertebrae at a time. You'll add in a chin tuck as you go and make your head the last thing that comes up. Good, and then roll shoulder blades up. Think about just moving one vertebrae at a time, one segment at a time. Good, okay. Now once you're up, float your arms up and then sink your shoulder blades down. Good. Arms are going to be at about a 45-degree angle here, and I want you to sink shoulder blades down and back. Okay. Don't let your elbows do the work. Yep. Sink shoulder blades down and back. Don't let your chest pop either. Okay. So belly buttons in, neutral pelvis, and you're bringing your shoulder blades down and back. Try not to grab the barrel, right? Nice straight line. Good, we're working that lower trap, that serratus. Good job, y'all. Good, okay, and then cross your hands behind your back. This is another just really great, simple pec opener. And add the chin tuck in with it. So that way, on that cross chart that I showed y'all, we're strengthening what needs to be strengthening and stretching at what needs to be stretched at the same time, which then teaches your body which muscles to activate and which to let go of during functional movement. Good. Okay, so now while you're here, add in the hip hike. Good. Yep, let your toes kind of grip the mat a little bit. That'll help support your arch. And switch sides. Good, okay. And relax, forward fold again. Go down one vertebrae at a time, let your head hang heavy. Good, you can sway side to side just a little bit. Good, now while your head is so close to your feet, I want you to look at your arch of your foot, look at your toes, see if you can keep your middle toe in line with your knee. Yep. So it's not in, not out, but third toe in line with your knee. Yeah. Good. Now I want you to again roll up, but this time think about the base of your foot, that arch of your foot being a cup, and you're scooping it. It's very active, and you're lifting up from the ground from that place. Okay? Good. Okay, and then next is tummy time for adults. So go onto your stomachs. See if you can find that triangle pose with your arms where you're pushing down into the mat, activating your lower trap. Yep, tucking your chin, good. Yep, and there, I want you to just slide your right leg to the side. So you're going to float it off the ground maybe an inch or two here, okay? Flex your foot. You'll feel it in that glute muscle. Okay, let's do 5. Here. Good, y'all doing okay? Yes, both hips are on the mat. So, yep, just watch here, okay? Yep. See if you can float your thigh off the mat just about an inch. Good, and then switch sides. Good, okay, switch again. Okay, switch again. Make sure you're pushing out away from your shoulders. No collapsing into the shoulders. Stay slightly lifted here. Good job. Y'all are working very hard. That's great. Okay, and then just relax. Everything can come down to the mat. Good. Did anyone have trouble finding their mid to low back in that exercise? No, you're feeling it? Okay, okay, okay. Good. So now, arms straight ahead. Flip your thumbs up. Yep. I want your forehead to be rested on your mat. Okay. And I want you to lead with your thumbs and just come up off the mat with your arms without straining your neck. Okay? A lot of times when we do overhead arm movement, our necks overwork and get really tight.
Leave the head down.
Yep, so leave your head down and just see if you can get your arms off the mat half an inch. Okay? By using your lower trap muscle. Good, 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 good. And back down. Good. It is, it is. Yep, okay. So sink shoulder blades down and back. Keep your neck relaxed. That's the key. We're trying to train those neck muscles to relax. Let your lower trap do the work. Float your arm up just half an inch. Think about reaching long, but gluing your shoulder blades down and back. Very nice. Good. And relax. Okay, we'll do a few more. Looking good. Okay, and lead with your thumbs. Come on up. Good. Stay nice and relaxed here. And down. Let's do 3 more. Hold about 5 to 10 seconds each. Okay, go on, head on up. Make sure you're leading with your thumbs. The reason being, if you turn your thumbs down, then it's compressing your pec. Okay? Good, and down. In this exercise, gravity is our weight. Good. Finish up on your last one here. The tape should actually be assisting you with this exercise. Good. Okay, now put your right arm down by your side. Palm facing the mat. That way we're keeping the pec nice and open. Good. Okay? Now you're going to float your left arm off the mat just a little bit. Good. And then lift your right leg off the mat just a hair. Good. Reach long. Length is our key here, even though we're really sinking in here. Keep your body neutral. Yep. Good. And switch. So this is like the opposite of what happens when we walk, right? So we're, yeah, good. Sink shoulder blade down and back. Keep your head relaxed at this point. Your head has done enough work. That's the key. Keep your neck and head relaxed.
What are we doing with our belly muscles at this point?
Drawing your belly button in toward your spine to support your spine. Jennifer, flip your palm, your left palm down. There you go. Keep pec open. There you go. Yep. Okay, relax our arm. Now I want you just to kind of inch your fingers that are down by your hip down further, just a little bit. That'll, good. That'll stretch your upper trap. Now again, so flip palm down here. There you go, inch down toward your feet, good. Okay, now lift up with your other opposite arm and leg. Good. Let your palm that's down by your hip grab the mat. Yeah, and that it's pulling down. That way you're getting a good stretch. Very nice. That's perfect. Good. Are y'all feeling a stretch and a strengthen? Yep. Good. Okay. Now switch which arm is forward. Looking really, really good. Yep. So grip up the mat with that arm that's down by your side. I'll help give a little overpressure for that stretch. Float the other arm up. Lead with your thumb. Thumb up. Reach really long with your lifted leg. Keeping head relaxed. Yep. And down. Good. One more time on that side. Very nice. Good. Okay. Go ahead and go into child's pose. Take some nice deep breaths here. Good. Okay, reach arms long. Make them somewhat active. Sinking your shoulder blades down and back. Okay. Good. Okay. Now come forward, knees on the ground, as if you are doing a plank on your knees. Okay? Belly button in toward your spine, and I want you to do that little pushing up, but it's not with the elbows, right? We're working that serratus muscle. Yep. Keeping your head and neck relaxed. Tiny chin tuck. Don't let your elbows do the work. Very nice. Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very nice. That looks good. Okay.
Greatest takeaway for me.
Cool. Good. Cool. Good. Yep, it works your core, which everyone wants to work, right? But it also gets good shoulder stability. And also for the elderly population, it's great to for wrist strength. If it bothers someone's wrist, they can always hold on to weights here and grip something, or like a little ball. And uh-huh. Yes, 100%. Yep, you can do it here. Okay? But go ahead and stay in quadruped if y'all don't mind. Okay? And then what I want you to do is activate that chin, float your right arm up. Okay, lead with your thumb. Good, reach long there. Make sure that pelvis is neutral and your back is flat. So even though you're reaching long, sink shoulder blade back. There you go. Good. Okay. Now, another way we're going to work your glute, rest your hand down a second, is you're going to fire hydrant it. So flex your foot. So we're working on that arch support, and you're going to come out like so. Okay? Really slow. Just hold it in space. I don't want a lot of momentum here. So here, and then you're just going to float your knee up, flex your foot. So you're, yeah, there you go. That'll, perfect, perfect, perfect. Again, pushing away from the mat with those shoulders. Good. And down. It'll rotate a little bit, and that's fine. Okay, switch sides with your leg. Yep. Really activate. Flex your foot, so no pointed toes, toe toward your shin. Good, 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 good. And I'd rather you not go as high with your leg, but make it a nice smooth motion if it's getting ya. Good. Okay, go into child's pose. Relax a second. Breathe. Everyone's wrists doing okay? Okay. Okay. Go ahead and come back into that quadruped position, hands and knees. Good. And now reach your other arm out long, the opposite one that you started with from last time. Good. Stay nice and lifted here. Yep. Good. Okay. There you go. Very nice. And then do the fire hydrant on the other side. Yep. Hand back down. Fire hydrant the other side. Good. So keep your arms straight. Don't let your elbows do the work. Yep. You're still pushing the mat away with your arms. Yep. Good. You're still a little bit of a chin tuck. You don't want to be straining with your neck on this, okay? Good. And child's pose. Exhale. Take a few good deep breaths. Y'all are doing great. Okay. Good. Come back up onto all fours. This will be our last move on all fours, okay? I want you to float your right arm up and then your left leg back. Yes, nice. Very good, very good. Just hold a few seconds. Don't let your low back dump in, staying nice and lifted in that pelvis. Good, and then switch. Good. Your gaze should still be down so as to not strain your neck. And down. Good. One more time, this time as you hold your arm and leg out, I want your eyes to go from side to side. Yep. So look left, hold 3 seconds, just with your eyeballs, not with your neck. And then look right. Challenges your balance, but also your ocular motor muscles are connected to the upper cervical muscles back here. So if you get headaches at the base of your skull, a lot of times it can be because of weak eye muscles. Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you think about it, we don't have to, like our predecessors, we don't have to sit in a bush looking to hunt for something and be perfectly still and just move our eyes anymore, right? We can move our head without causing disturbance. So yeah, eye movement. We're staring at objects quite a bit. Fixed gaze weakens the eye muscles, weakens that top of the neck. So that would be a great one for you to do, honestly, specifically, is gaze work. Yeah, good. So have y'all done both sides, practicing with the eye movement? Good. Okay, so let's do a few shoulder rolls. I only go from front to back. I never go from back to front because that just encourages rounded shoulders, okay? Always go front to back. Good. Okay, go ahead and stand on up. And you should feel longer and more stacked up. I just put this sculpture on there because it's one of my favorite sculptures. Like, a lot of times sculptures are like, "Argh," but, and that's just to emphasize that posture is, you know, a nice thing for us to practice, like getting nice and stacked up, but really our bodies are designed to move fluidly and not maintain positions for a long time. Okay?
Joyful and braless.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.